is either spilled milk or what should I do? So today I want to share something that happened earlier this morning. I was doing a FaceTime like I do every week. My granddaughters and I started a new game because I know they like to play video games, but I talked to my husband about something that maybe I'll have a living lesson or some homegrown because of today's girls don't always want babies. And so I wanted to make sure that I instilled that into my granddaughters. And so I asked my husband and he said, play the game, name the baby. And so I share pictures of babies and they have to guess who it is. Anyway, that's another podcast. So while I was busy talking to them about it, I think the game was pretty much over and we were just chatting about different things. And I moved my hand and I hit my coffee cup that I had balancing on the couch. Okay, and so first of all, I'm just going to say this. When my husband told me to bring my coffee out, and I had about maybe a third of my coffee left, I didn't question him, but I had a hesitancy because I've spilled it before, just spilled it. And so anyway, but I thought, okay, you want me to bring the coffee out? So I put it on the arm and I asked him where he wanted me to put it. I put it on the arm of it. I thought, well, it's pretty precarious there, but I'm not going to question it. You just keep it safe. Well, as I was saying, we were pretty much finished with that, and I don't know what happened, but I knocked the coffee cup off, and you hear this loud crash. The girls heard it, and they said, oh my gosh, what was that? What was that? And I said, oh, I just dropped my coffee cup. I knocked my coffee cup off, and both of them looked panicked. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Oh my gosh. And I said, don't worry about it. Let's just keep chatting. It'll take care of it. And they just looked like you've got to do something. So I said, well, don't worry. I am so blessed here. You know, the Lord has blessed me so much that where I'm living, they'll take care of it. I'll just call up the front desk. They'll send housekeeping over and they'll clean it all up for me. And I said, did I tell you what happened on Wednesday? And I was able to share another testimony, a confirmation, 2 things. And I told them about that my fire alarm had gone off. Well, not the fire alarm, but the chirping from the battery. I'm not sure if I shared it in the last living lesson, but anyway, you know what that is. It chirps and it gets louder and louder. And I asked my husband, what am I supposed to do? He told me to call, and 12 minutes later, it had already been swapped out, and the young man who left said, I'll be here until 7 if you need anything else. So I was able to share that with my granddaughters, and they look so excited about both of those things. And then we just went on. We forgot all about the coffee. So I wanted to first say, and I put in my notes, is this: why didn't I say my husband takes care of me, or my heavenly husband? Well, the nice thing is that as I become older, I'm much wiser. A lot of it just comes with age. Of course, studying his principles definitely help. The other reason I know is that the enemy would love to stop this communication that we have on the weekend. And, we like to protect our children, and especially sometimes from spiritually weird. I am known in my family, and I wear it as an honor that they think I'm spiritually weird. I don't just be weird to be weird, but it is weird. And the Bible says it's okay. We're supposed to be a peculiar people, so it's okay. Nevertheless, I'm not going to go out of my way to appear weird. I'm just going to appear weird naturally because people think, what are you doing? But I have fruits, and I'll just let my husband take care of that. He's my publicist or whatever, he'll take care of my reputation. But I'm wiser. So I didn't say anything. I'm more discreet. And we also know with many words, transgression is unavoidable. Win without words. Even a fool is considered wise when keeping silent. So I didn't mention that. But I did know all of the grandchildren always talk about the Lord. So it's very comfortable. And it's just another way of going to him. And they were able to witness my life by me sharing my testimony. So that comes back to, why did he tell me to put it there? Well, I didn't question it because he wanted to do this whole thing for me, because it wasn't just for them. It is for me too. When I see him doing things like this, it's just beautiful. Like last time I had a situation, and the last living lesson, and it was, what should I say? Now it's, what should I do? So it's just it's kind of the cousin of it, right? I mean, just like my granddaughters are cousin, it's kind of the cousin living lesson to it, So I just wanted to finish this testimony of what happened today and how it encouraged me, and it gave me an opportunity to have a living lesson for you, is that we finished our FaceTime. And then, of course, as soon as I closed my laptop, I looked down and I really wanted to see how bad was it. It was bad. It has a tile floor, because in Florida, that's the floors that they have because there's humidity. And I had to pour, just a regular mug, a glass mug. So it pretty much shattered. I mean, it's not China, but it pretty much shattered. Coffee was everywhere. And so the first thing I had to do, I had to laugh it off. I use that all the time. It just takes, if there's any bit of sting, or how, I don't know, anything that happens, you can shake things off, you can trust God. But when you start to laugh, it's a wonderful thing, because if I cried about something, or if I was upset about something, my husband is not sitting in heaven and laughing. Right? He'd be laughing at us? I don't think so. But if I'm laughing, then he can laugh. And I want him to have a good laugh, at my expense for sure. So then I looked at it and I thought, well, I did tell the girls that I was going to call, but maybe you want me to clean this up, darling. Do you want me to clean this up? Instantly, because I asked in my head. I don't have a mop. I don't have any of those things. This is a resort. They have a broom, but it's not going to clean it up. And the other thing that my husband was very quick to point out is that the coffee came up and it splashed on the gray couch. And I was a bit concerned, because the coffee that I drink has this wild mushroom, it's for health purposes. I've been drinking it since 2005, and I know it stains horribly, but even then, I just thought, you know what, darling, there'll be a blessing there, for them, for me. So I called up like he told me to. I asked him what to say as I was waiting for the operator to come on, how to direct my call. And she said, don't worry. I said, I am so sorry. No, we don't want you to clean it up. Just leave it there. Somebody's coming. So I waited and waited and waited and waited. And because I said I was going to go out by the pool, and she said, well, they prefer you being there, or they need you to be there. They don't have a key anyway. So I waited, but then I asked my husband, I kept thinking I need to enjoy today and get out a little bit of sun before lunch. So my husband said to wait until a certain time and then to go. So I did. And I went out and I left, and of course, the enemy wants to get in your head. So I went immediately to the worst case scenario. They come, they can't get in. They get a key from someone, because there's always supervisors down the halls, or I'll have to have them come back and I'll call later. But worst case scenario, that resolved that, so I didn't have to give it another thought while I was enjoying the pool. Then it was time to come back, and I wonder if it's cleaned up. This will be interesting. And as I was returning, I was about to go in the the door that I normally go in, and then I heard my husband say to continue along the path. And there's a beautiful swamp with these giant trees. There's even today, everybody saw there's a small alligator. He's only about, I'm saying I have no idea, but about 4 feet. They can get to be massive, like 12 feet long. Anyway, but this one was just kind of a baby. But anyway, so I went to the end, and then I came back, and then as I was coming in and going down the hall, way down, because I was farther down when I came in, I saw what appeared to be a cleaning cart, and it looked like it maybe was leaving where my door was. Well, sure enough, when I got there, it was completely clean. Even what was stained, I could see that they had used some sort of a fabric cleaner or something. It was perfect. There wasn't even smells. Cleaning products give me a headache. That wasn't even there. It was absolutely clean. And in the end, I was so grateful for so many things. I couldn't stop thinking about how grateful I was, how loved I was. And then I knew I had a testimony to share. And when I was relaxing in my afternoon bath, I started to think about a living lesson. And I thought, wow, wouldn't that be amazing? So if you enjoyed this, if it spoke to you, I would love if you would share it with someone. Just ask your husband who should I share it with, and then share it and talk about it. And also share your story if one comes up while you're discussing it with your friend or your sister or your mother or your grandmother, anyone, neighbor. And then also share your story in the comments if you've done something like this or whatever he spoke to you. It's nice to say that you enjoyed a living lesson, but I'd much rather hear from you, and I think everyone else would too.